Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I thought I would share with you the pages that I completed in April. I feel like I've been coloring really fast the last few weeks, so I have more pages than normal completed in a month, so it was a good opportunity to make my first one of these kinds of videos. So the first page was in Meine, Reise, durch, Asien, which I am sure is not the correct pronunciation, so I apologize to Rita Berman for mangling that, but this is only the second page that I've colored in this book, but it was a lot of fun. I used ColorIt and Black Widow's pencils mostly, which I'm still getting used to them both, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Just a sweet, simple little page with the pink flowers, seemed appropriate for spring. I tried to emulate a photograph that I found of cherry blossoms that had a lot of blue and purple in the background of the petals, and I started that here, and I didn't love it, so I kind of just did a little bit of that just to make the rest of it match, because I didn't want to take the time to erase it all, but I think it turned out fine. But I might try that again another time, but yeah, I like the page overall. Anyway, I just wasn't sure what some of these things were. I found photographs for reference for most of them, but yeah, I don't know what these were, and I don't know what this thing in the middle was, so I just guessed, colored it a color. The next one is in the French version of The Rooms of Wonder, La Maison des Secrets, by Johanna Basford. So the paper is a hair different, but not significantly to me. I think it's a little whiter. But this page I followed a tutorial on this circle from Julie Bouv on Instagram, and I can't remember what her YouTube, handle is, but when I make this video or when I edit it, I will put her name down below here. And I liked it so much that I did the rest of the squares. The rest of her tutorial for this page, these circles are different colors, but I also am hosting a color along on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. I'm so sorry. Also, that is my birthday month, and blue is my favorite color, so it's Birthday Blues 23. And so I figured, well, I can do, in honor of that, I'll do 4 squares, and I'll have 4 posts on Instagram, and that way, and yeah, I just love all of the shades of blue, so I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So that was a fun challenge to do everything in just blue. So there is that one. The next one, actually, I have several in this book, because if you have seen the video I did a few weeks ago where I reached the halfway point in this book, once I realized how far into it I was, it's given me momentum to want to keep doing more pages. So I have several here, and these papers in the middle I'm finding that I'm getting a lot of color transfer. See, look at that. And I don't know if it's and more than usual, and I don't know if it's because this is my traveling book and I carry it with me a lot of places, so maybe the paper is getting a little more worn. I'm not sure, but I'm going to cut some paper down, in the meantime, so it's not hanging out like this. But this is the paper that I had on hand, and I did not want to delay this video any longer because I'm already 4 days late in posting it. So this is the first one I did this month. I will link the video. Oh, I bumped the stand. I made a video which I will link, where I talked a little bit more about it, but I'm using a limited palette of only 24 pencils in this book. So all of the pages that I've done are using the same 24 polychromos pencils. So that has been a fun challenge. So, and this one I did, I think this is the fastest I've ever colored one of her pages. It took me less than 4 hours on a Sunday morning. I don't know why. Everything just came together really quickly, and so yeah, that was fun. So then the next one in this book is the baking page, and I had put this off for a really long time because of my limited palette of pencils. It was really a challenge trying to figure out. I had to wait for the inspiration, how to do the wood and the dough and this wood and the eggshells, and this with my, I had to do all those things with the same 4 pencils, and that's been a challenge because some pages have wood and bread and gold, and other things, and I only have the same 4 or 5 pencils to use to make those. So this one intimidated me for a while, but I decided to dive in, and I think this is actually supposed to be milk because everything else is an ingredient of the dough, but I didn't have any way to color white in my limited palette, and other than just leaving the page white, and I didn't want to put gray shadows on the milk because that just sounded gross. So I turned it into orange juice that I would drink with breakfast when eating the pastries that I am baking on this page. And then the sugar I turned purple in honor of the lavender sugar that I brought home from France on my trip last summer. That was kind of the whole point of the idea of this book, was a traveling book that I could take with me on my big vacation last year. So I brought home a jar of lavender sugar. So I decided to, there's lavender sugar sprinkled on the top of this cupcake or muffin or whatever, this pastry. So that's why there's purple sugar and orange milk. It's not really milk, it's orange juice. But and then I found a picture online of Portuguese tiles that had all these wonderful colors in them. So that was fun to color each of these tiles in the same 5, I think, pencils, but they're all different. None of them are duplicates of each other, and so that was fun. I liked that a lot. Then there's this diver page, and this one, for whatever reason, this is the first page I started noticing. Like I said, I don't know if the paper is just getting too jostled around with all the traveling, but I struggled with the pencils I had getting coverage on here, and this is really the only page, the first page that happened to me on, and so I'm not sure what happened, but it's not as vibrant as I would have liked it, but I really only have a couple colors to use for water, and I had decided before I started that I would use the same 2 colors for blue for all the water in the book, and I have 3 other blues, because these are kind of tealy ones, 3 other blues that I will make all of the skies those 3 colors of blue just for consistency. So I think I did do one sunset in here somewhere, some non-blue sky, but yeah, so it's fine. I like the vibrant fish, and it's fine, but and you can see, like, I must have pressed really hard. I don't know if you can see it on camera, on the page on the back side, because there's little, like, ghosty, it's not pigment, but it's like where I maybe pressed too hard, and there's little white marks in the shadow of not even that one. Gosh, it must be. Oh, it is. It's this part right here. You can see that shape on here. So I'm not sure what happened, but it's fine. Yeah, overall it's fine. It's just not as deep and vibrant as some of the other water pages on this in this book are. Even this one, see, is more vibrant than that one. So same 2 pencils in the water from there to there. So I'm not sure what happened, but it's fine. Okay, and then see what I mean about the color transfer? I'm getting a lot of it now. So this is my work in progress, and so I'll put that in the May video. But I think that's it. I have a mark. Did I miss one? I got the diver and the baking and the London. Yep. Oh, I knew there was a 4th one. And then just this simple flowers one. Yeah. Again, with the limited palette, it's very interesting to come up with new combinations. Okay, the next book, I have 3 pages colored in this one, and ColorIt gifted me this book, so thank you again to them. It's been a great, this is the first book of theirs that I have, so it's been great getting to know it. I tried out all the different, well, I don't use a ton of mediums, but a little bit of watercolor and all the different pencils, and I think they all worked really well. This page was mostly Luminance by Karen Dash, and for whatever reason, I don't know if I just did this too fast, but I can't get those clumps out of there, and I tend not to use solvents or anything to try to melt things. My style is pretty simple, and to be honest, once I get done with the page, my joy in coloring comes from putting colors together, not making perfection, you know, a perfect finished product. So once it's done, like once there's color everywhere, in my mind it's done and I'm ready to do something else. So while I would like that to have been smoother, I'm not sure what I should have done differently when I actually colored it. Maybe slow down a little bit. I think I just went too fast, but I've tried several different things to try to remove some of the clumps, and it's not going anywhere. So, and I tried a little different technique to see about the, you know, make a little wavy water. It's kind of that abstract-y look that some painters use. I don't know that Monet, this is Monet's Garden Giverny in France. So I looked, you know, the colors, I don't know about the flowers, but everything else, the colors are pretty accurate to photographs of it. But I don't know if he would have done strokes like that for anything in his paintings. But oh well, it's my art, so that's what I did. Okay, then here is the next page. It's in Paris, and that was fun. Also, I made her trench coat blue because I have a blue trench coat in almost this exact color, and I took it with me on my trip to France, but I ended up not wearing it at all because the rain that was forecast never came. So I also have a flip through to this one on my channel, and I will link that at the end as well if you'd like to see it, because if you like France, there are a lot of fun pages to color. And I just realized, and then the last one that I did was this perfume. It's the rose harvest for perfume factories, and I had put it on my list of places now to see in France after I saw this, because I didn't know what this page was. I colored the flowers pink, and then I looked up rose harvest in France and found out that there is a region in the south of France where the big perfume houses started. So I put that on my to-do list of places of things I wanted to see. But then I found out most of the production doesn't happen there anymore. It's a very small production, and it's mostly for tourists' sake. So I don't know if that feels as compelling, but it might still be fun to see that in real life one day. So yeah, so there was the 3 pages in that book. And then the last book is this one, my latest acquisition. I just love it so much, To the Ends of the Earth. I had never seen I didn't know anything about this book, but I also have a flip through of this one that I made right when I got it, because it's just such an interesting concept, and it unfolds into one continuous 17-foot long page. So it's been great to color it. So of course I made it hard on myself. You know, most people, now that after I first found out about the book, I went on Instagram and find it, to find other posts, and most people post like each panel like a normal person. But in Instagram, I like the pictures to be as close up as possible, so I decided to color one square at a time. So I consider myself to have done two blocks, because I've done 2 squares, but it's really 2 panels. I'm going to try to unfold it and see if I can get it. The whole portion that I have done all in one screen. Can I do it? Pretty close. So let's see if we get it even there. I had to stand up to get here, so probably the sound just changed for you. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it starts out in this nice, cute little cottage with books and an atlas strewn about the path, with maps and a compass and drawings of things that I am assuming maybe somebody who has traveled this adventure, let the adventure begin. They've traveled this adventure and then they come back and they document. So there's, pictures of dragons and other critters and things. So, and I think like here's a narwhal, I think, and I think that shows up later in the book. But it's just fascinating, just the concept of it, and it's been a lot of fun coloring it so far. So I can't wait to see where we go next. I think we're going into some Mexico, maybe, kind of thing over here. So I also have a flip through for that one if you want to see the whole thing. And these I'm going to do in just whatever pencils suit my fancy at the time. So I think I've probably used all of the Actually, I probably have used all of the pencils I own, from Prismacolor to Polychromas, just some Black Widows and Castles. I don't think I used any Artisas or Rosatins, but I did use some Lumis on here, and because I just wanted to try out the paper. I don't think I've used any of the Crayolas yet, so I'm assuming they will all work equally well, just depending on what color I want. So, okay, I will list links to all of the, if there's any related flip-throughs that I have done for any of these books, but that is it. And thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.